finish this live stream up. I had to just take care of a little work, man. I'm sorry that I had to break it up, man. But I wanted to I just want to talk a little more boxing, man. I need to figure out something to calm me down. 'Cause, man, I do not like funny stuff at the gig. But it's cool. I'm back. We'll see how many people we can gather back into the chat. You know, probably not a lot, but it'll be a lot of fun to do it regardless. Stay on till about 12:30, so maybe about 40 minutes. I'm gonna be on. Wrap it up right before World Breaker Fighting comes on. So let me know when you get in the building, man. Let me know when you get in the building. But for the people that are watching this on archive, let me go over the second part of what I wanted to discuss today, which was something that was interesting, man, that I got in a response to one of my videos about how, you know, dude was like, said something to the effect of how American boxing is dying. And I always find that real funny when people tell me that American boxing is dying, because it's clear that, I mean, I'm not sure what measurement they use to say that. But if you're looking at actually the amount of world champions that are from America, it's the number one by far. I looked at as far as what last time I counted, which was yesterday. There are in America. What's going on, David Boone? How you feeling, man? Welcome to the channel, man. I'm sure other people are, man, but I'm just trying to continue this live stream that I had just cut off, man. I feel so bad, man, because now I know people aren't going to get notifications for this one because I just had another one. But I went and I counted the number of world champions from the United States, and there's 16 of them. And I believe the last time I checked, maybe which was a year ago, there was 12 of them. So the guy responded, was like, "Oh, you're counting Latinos," because I counted Jose Ramirez, David Benavidez, and Mikey Garcia as American champions, right? And I was like, God, dog, they're Americans. But if you don't want to count them, if you want to use American boxers code word for black American fighters, then okay, we got 13 of them. There's 13 of them. In what planet does that tell you? How in the world would that tell you that American boxing is dying? American boxing is thriving. American boxing still has more world champions than twice as many as the second closest competitor, which I do believe is Mexico. I think Mexico has 8 or 9 of them. So I just don't know, man. It just gets me how cats would say that. What's going on, World Play? What's going on, Richard Smith? Yeah, man, we're gonna have a small audience on this one because I just got off the last one because I had some work, because I got interrupted for work. So now I'm sure how YouTube does your notifications. Like if you put out a video before you do your live stream, your notifications don't go out. They're not going to send you a notification, everybody a notification for everything that you do. So I'm sure people won't get the notification that I came back on because, I had to jump off so quickly for work that I didn't let people know that I was going to be getting right back on and to look for it. So I appreciate you guys coming. I appreciate you guys coming through. But I wanted to say that, man, because I just don't. It's just the people. There's a lot of talk about narratives in boxing, and how, for example, if I do a video that is complimentary of Deontay Wilder, if I do a video that's complimentary of Gervonta Davis, that it's propaganda or something. But yet people run around with these notions that have no basis in fact whatsoever. American boxing is dying. Off the top of my head, the champions, that American champions, are Deontay Wilder at heavyweight, is unified at 100 at cruiserweight. So there's not an American champion at cruiserweight. I don't believe that there's American champion at 170 at light heavyweight either. But at 168, you have David Benavidez. At 160, you have a Demetrius Andrade and you have Daniel Jacobs at 160. At 154 pounds, you have Jared Hurd, Tony Harrison, Jared Hurd and Tony Harrison. At welterweight, you have Errol Spence Jr., Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Terrence Crawford. That's 10. At 140 pounds, you have Jose Ramirez. That's 11. At 135 pounds, you have Mikey Garcia. That's 12. At 130 pounds, you have Tevin Farmer. That's 13. You have Gervonta Davis. That's 14. And who's the other 130? Is Miguel Burchell. There's somebody else. Oh, there's somebody else down there too. But I think there's like two more of them. Actually, I should look and make sure that I give the right numbers on that. But I'm pretty sure that there's 16 American champions right now. But for some reason, American boxing is dying. And then if you add to it the number of fighters that fight in America on American TV, then you have guys like Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez and Vasil Lomachenko. Did I miss somebody at 135? Okay, 100. Yeah, yeah. And more than likely, Richard Comey. I think Richard Comey is African. No, Nino Donaire is American, but he's not. I mean, technically speaking, he's born in I think he's born in the Philippines. But it's just a ton of American champions, man. But for some reason, cats want to act like we don't have any champions, and we're not. It's like we're not doing well in boxing for some reason. While the UK, I think they have 3. Pretty sure the UK has 3, which is Callum Smith, Anthony Joshua, and is it Josh Warrington? I think that's 3 for the UK. Josh Warrington. If there's somebody else, let me know, but I'm pretty sure that the world champions are Callum Smith, Josh Warrington, and Anthony Joshua. And Josh Warrington and Callum Smith won those belts off of other British guys. So for the UK to be absolutely killing, taking over the world of boxing, if we have 16 world champions and you have 3, doesn't seem like much of a takeover to me. The second best, you got to catch up with Mexico first. Because Mexico has, it's not going to be hard for me to name 3 Mexican champions, right? Zurdo Ramirez, Canelo Alvarez, Luis Santa Cruz, and what's that guy's name? There's a few down in the lower weight classes. I know there's one that I'm missing that's obvious. Zurdo Ramirez, Canelo Alvarez, Jaime Munguia. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like 9 Mexican. I'm pretty sure there's 9 Mexican ones, Mexican world champions. And I do believe the Ukraine has 3. So Ukraine has Vasil Lomachenko, Alexander Usyk, Vasil Lomachenko, Alexander Usyk, and Wojciech at 175 pounds. So there's as many world champions in Vasil Lomachenko's father's gym as there are in the UK. How in the world are people taking over the sport of boxing? Doing very well and having really good, entertaining fights, a lot of really good up-and-coming fighters, and a great atmosphere for boxing, without a doubt. Without a doubt. But taking over the sport of boxing, I think that's a bit of a stretch, man. What do I not get? Okay, cool. We got some comments going on. Oh, Navrati, that's what's up. Thanks, man. All right, we got some people. David, do you think Wilder will fight Joshua this year? No. I do not believe that he'll fight Joshua this year. I believe that Anthony Joshua is going to fight Dillian White, and then maybe Jarrell Miller or Kubrat Pulev. I think Kubrat Pulev is the dark horse pick for the second fight for Anthony Joshua this year. Or if it's a close enough fight with Dillian White, that it'll be a trilogy with Dillian White. They'll run it back with Dillian White. But no, I don't think he fights Deontay Wilder this year. I don't think they want that fight. I don't think that they want the Deontay Wilder fight or the Tyson Fury fight. And I think that they're willing to overcome just, what do you call overcome the storm or whatever. Wait out the storm. Clippers game, what's good, man? Richard Smith said, tell Deontay's comments on Facebook, and he answered me today. You know I'm one of the happiest guys in the world. That's what's up, man. That's cool. The champ is very responsive to people. That's good. Box Young Rene, what's good, fellas? What's good with you, man? Cats want to act like UK has all the champs and the best fights. Nah, dude, they got 3 champions. That's the conversation I had with the guy, because he's like, well, people are probably just hard on it because, they see that American boxing is not as compared to the old days, it's not as good as it used to be. And I think that there's probably more. I don't think that I can't think of a time with all these belts. I'm not talking about when there was one champion per division. I don't know if there's been a time when there's been more than 16 American world champions at one time. Okay, I don't know if there is. Yeah, I don't know if there's been I don't really know if there's been a time where there's been 16 world champions. I remember Blood Boxing doing a video a couple years ago, and they were saying the same thing, and there was 11 of them. And then he went back and he looked at different time periods, and he was like, okay, there's 11, pretty much we keep around 11 world champions, 11 to 12 world champions, and we've always had around that amount of about that number. But at this point in time, we got 16 of them. That's a lot. That's more than we usually have. We also have we have more people investing in boxing in America on the professional level. Right? I think a lot of that myth comes from the amateurs, because we don't have we don't have amateurs winning Olympic gold medals and things like that. And I think the big difference with that really is the fact that people go pro. People in America don't stay amateur till they're 25 years old. They go amateur, and we're going to have less of them, because now with the age limitation where you can't even go into the Olympics till you get older, that's going to force kids that turn 17, 18 years old to turn professional. That's why Devin Haney turned professional, and Money Pal the fourth turned professional. Ryan Garcia turned professional. They turned professional because they weren't going to be allowed to. Because they weren't going to be allowed to fight on because they weren't going to be able to be allowed to fight in the Olympics at that earliest stage. I mean, at that early age. Boxing Renee, who do you think is next for Canelo? Oscar says it's a surprise. Oscar ain't got any idea who was going to be next, because he don't work for Oscar. He don't work for Oscar. Why? I don't get why Oscar. I mean, he doesn't. Excuse me. Oscar said it's a surprise, not Hearn. Oscar said it's a surprise. Excuse me. Forgive me. I had Eddie Hearn in my mind. One bullshit motherfucker. One bullshit ass dude transcended my mind. I don't know. They were talking about Callum Smith, somebody like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know who he's gonna fight. If they say it's gonna be a surprise, and it's not somebody I want to see. You know what I mean? I want to see him fight I either want to see him fight Demetrius Andrade, Billy Joe Saunders, or Jamal Charlo. That's who he should be fighting. If he pulls somebody out the woodwork, who is the person they're going to pull out the woodwork, and why should that person get a shot at those belts? It need to be those guys. But more than likely, I would think the guy probably with the best shot, the guys with the best shot is going to be Daniel Jacobs. Because if he's going to be fighting in New York, which is mind-boggling in and of itself, why is he fighting in New York? But if they're going to have him fighting in New York, then Daniel Jacobs seems like he would be the most logical person of all of them. Followed then by, if he's going to fight in Texas or there, it should be Jamal Charlo. Demetrius Andrade is probably the last of them, because I think Demetrius Andrade is the guy he has the most problems with. I think he have a lot of problems with Demetrius Andrade. I think he has a lot of problems with all those dudes, really. Yeah, I'm back, man, because I had to jump. Man, I had to jump off for work real quick, man. I had somebody come to me, like, God, dog, man, like, shit. We're telling the answer to shit is no. How about no? Yeah, dog. People want you to give you an hour and a half explanation about the answer. No. Answer is no. Um, Richard Smith, we got Ife, Say It, Deontay, Rain on my now mine come later. Big Slim got respect out that boy. I'm not sure what that means, man. Also, a good reason to turn pro is for profit and making a living. Yeah, man. But see, the thing is, yeah, but I mean, that's a good reason. But if you have if you are a top amateur and you know that you're going to get by getting an Olympic gold medal or getting in the Olympics, you're going to be able to sign with a promoter or sign with a manager that is going to, put you out there and help you earn money earlier in your career, then that's a good thing. You know what I mean? It's a good thing to get more experience, to get in the ring more. I think the amateurs it should be a good thing. But the way that they play with the rules, the way that they had cats went, having what appeared to be one-sided fights and they don't win, and all the stuff that's going on with they got that whole amateur boxing thing is really screwed up. Because in America, amateur fighters are really amateur fighters. Their parents are paying for them to get here. Their parents are paying for them to get there. Their parents are paying for their training, or somebody that is taking care of them is paying for their training. They're doing all that. When you have guys that are like from Eastern European countries, that's not the case. Those guys are professionals. The state and the federations are paying for everything. So they are getting paid to fight. They're getting cars to fight. They're getting their housing expenses and they're getting their living and food and all that stuff and stipends taken care of by that federation. That's a professional boxer. If you're getting paid to buy, you're getting paid, you're earning a living by boxing, hey man, that's professional. Even the way that they say they play with that world, was it the World Series of Boxing, where these guys are fighting with their shirts off. They don't have shirts on. They got professional style rules, right? They're earning a paycheck, but they act as if they're amateurs. They're not amateurs. It's the whole amateur system. People just making a mockery of what the amateurs are. Big Dog Willie in the building. What's good, man? I'm chilling, I'm chilling, just sitting up here, man. Wanted to finish my live stream that got interrupted. Hate that I did it, man. I hate that I had to break it up, man. AJ stock isn't rising anytime soon. Nah, man. See, the dude's got to come to not anytime soon, but I mean, it would rise if he had. Here's the thing, man. You can only gimmick your way up so far, right? And I'm not saying he's completely a gimmick. The guy can clearly fight, right? But he had a path laid out for him, right? And they walked him through a scenario where they could get him. They saw opening in the hole and they ran through it, right? They'd intended to build the guy up like this, but now to complete it, man, you gotta finish the job, and you can't just make up. It's very, very rare that you have somebody that really gets, like, when people talk about legacy, dude, most of these guys ain't got no legacy. I mean, legacy is something you leave behind. You know what I mean? Like, what's your legacy? What are people going to think about you when you're gone? These people, they ain't got no legacy. You can't even talk about legacy till you're retired. And then it is what it is. I love Muhammad Ali, but I don't think I ever heard Muhammad Ali ever mention the word legacy. He was trying to be the best that there was right that minute. And if you constantly trying to be the best and you continually be the best that there is right there that minute, then you walk away and that's how people remember you. You remember as somebody who was the best. If you're somebody that is constantly known for, avoiding fights and being a prima donna, then that's your legacy. You were a prima donna hype job. Because that's what people are going to, and guess who gets to determine what that is? It's the people, it's the fans. When your name is brought up, what do the fans say? You ain't got a legacy in the United States. Here, you ain't got a legacy in the Western Hemisphere. They're not a bunch of people who know who that dude is or care. And if they did hear his name, they don't really care about him. They can't tell you what he's about, what he stood for, right? When you look at some of these guys, what qualities do you associate with him, right? It's just not. I mean, you gotta get it all the way through it, man. You got to get all the way through it, man. Yeah, that's true. What's going on? What's going on, Chris Brown? Oh, by the way, man, look, I got a video up on my Patreon. I don't think actually, you know what? I got to put my Patreon link in here, man, because I actually took it out of my thing. But I did a Patreon video, man, on a couple things I think it'd be interesting. If you're a Patreon, then you can see it. If not, you can become a Patreon. If you don't want to become a Patreon, email me and I can shoot you a link to the actual video. But there's videos that I'm going to be doing pretty much on a daily basis that I'm not sharing on YouTube because these trolls don't deserve to see it. Honestly, man, I'm like, how am I going to deal with this cat? This cat's going to have to pay to see. If you want to make a video about something that I said about certain subjects, you're going to have to pay me to see that video for my content. Okay, if you can go to my Patreon page and cough up something, then you can see it. But other than that, dog, I got no time for you, man. I got no time for you cats. There you go. All right. So if you want to join. If not, and I know who you are, because right now I got a whopping two Patreons. A whopping two. So you know I'm killing it in this jump. For real. Anyway, there you go, man. So if you guys want to check them out, that's the link to the Patreon right there. Take that, troll. Who the trolls at, dog? We got trolls in here. Likes up, famo. Likes up. That's all right, man. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the conversation just as much. I don't want to be stealing people's style, man. Black Fight Fan TV got that unique style. He got that. Man, I got 73 people up in this motherfucker. Go ahead. I can't even do it. I got 73 people in here, which means I know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the core of the cast that listen to me talk boxing and like to talk boxing with me, man. Not Roger said, don't Cuban boxers have to leave the country to box professionally? Yes, they do. Absolutely. They got to risk their lives to do that. And that's typically, from what I can see, they typically do that later in their career, later in their amateur career. Because when that's over and they lose their subsidizing, what it is, how are they going to earn a living? Dog, if they let them Cubans out that box, come on, man, them boys can go. Trust me. Them boys can go. Yes, sir. Take that. Big Dog Willie says Ali era was way different from these cats today. Patterson, Liston, Frazier, Foreman, and Ali. Imagine if they all ducked each other. They wouldn't do it, man. They wouldn't do it. First of all, there wasn't all these damn belts. Where are you going to go? You going to not fight for a championship? That's the thing. Now, there's no way to duck. There's no way to duck the big heavyweights. You have to duck all of them, right? You have to duck all of them, which just brings me back to a point, man. Sometimes I remember what people say, man. There's this particular guy out there, man, who does these videos. And you ever had somebody who was like very detailed, but they get lost. They miss the forest for the trees. That type of guy. There's this guy that used to do these videos, man. Oh my God, man. He used to do these videos kind of like a scrapbook boxing, but more pretentious and less not as good. But did this video like where they came up with all of these like categories of how do you determine who was a great fighter, right? Not just looking at the guy and saying, oh, eyeball test, right? No, some advanced analytical test for who did what, right? Now, analytics have its place. But dog, some things you can just see, okay? Some things you can just see. Some things you just know because you know the sport of boxing, right? You know enough about it. So did all these characterizations or did this whole, formula for determining point-based system about who was the best fighter. And I knew right off the bat, like you asked me what champion fought the most, fought the best competition as a heavyweight, fought the best competition as a heavyweight, and beat the most of them between top 10 guys, champions, and all that. I know who that is in the heavyweight division. Without a doubt. It's Muhammad Ali. It's easy, Muhammad Ali. Easy. You're not going to find anybody with a better resume according to stats than Muhammad Ali. You're never going to find it, dude. Never going to find it. Because you got a guy that fought Archie Moore to Trevor Berbick. Archie Moore to Trevor Berbick. Archie Moore was in his prime in the late 40s, right? So you're talking about, if you look at the guys that Archie Moore beat Joey Maxim. He became the light heavyweight champion of the world, right? He bought a bunch of guys. So you assign points to Archie Moore, and you don't take into account that Archie Moore was an older guy. Like, you don't give it lick your thumbs, figure out what it is by using your brain, right? You use numbers in lieu of your brain, right? You won't see that, Archie Moore was probably 50 years old when Ali beat the piss out of him. But he has all these other guys, 100+ guys on his record. I think he had over 100 fights. I'm pretty sure he has over 100 fights against a bunch of guys that were top 10 fighters, a bunch of guys, won the light heavyweight champion, did all those things, right? So his numbers are real high. So Ali gets that. And then he fought Floyd Patterson. He fought Sonny Liston, right? Then he fought guys that were in the top 10 for years, like Big Cat Williams and Big Cat Williams, Zora Foley, all these guys, they're all on his record. And then you go into the 70s and you got guys like you. Come on, man, there's nobody that's ever going to beat that. Okay, it's never going to happen. You're never going to find anybody with a resume like that ever again, right? Ever again. Because now you got four belts, 10 different ranking systems, right? I mean, four different belts, 4 different ranking systems, a bunch of extra weight classes. You're just never going to see it again because of the way that boxing's changed. I have no doubt that if Anthony Joshua fought in the 1970s, Anthony Joshua wouldn't have any choice. It would be like, dude, you're either going to fight Joe Frazier, or you're going to fight Kenny Norton, or you're going to fight Ron Lyle, or you're going to fight Ernie Shavers, or you're going to fight George Foreman, or you're going to fight Larry Holmes. You're going to fight one of these dudes. Where else you going to go? You're going to have to fight them. They're not going to be Don King and say whatever you want. They're like, hold on. AJ be like, but I'm a star. Can't I fight Jerry Coetzee? How about can I fight, what's the name of the guy when Ali did fight guys that were soft? Like, can I please have Chuck Webner? We need to have Chuck Webner. Chuck Webner, like they'll invent a belt for Chuck Webner. Chuck Webner was the IBO champion. He beat Chuck Webner. Hell no. Only cat that gets to fight Chuck Webner for a belt is Ali after he fights a bunch of killers. And they're like, hey, man, I need to get a check. We're going to get another check. We're going to put on another show in between these fights. They wouldn't allow you to do it. And damn well cats like Sonny Liston couldn't get away with doing that shit. Sonny Liston's like, we're going to get you in a fight in this pool hall tonight. And you're going to fight this killer in this pool hall. Thank you very much. They're not going to do it. Floyd Patterson, if Eddie Hearn today were managing Floyd Patterson as a champion and you had Sonny Liston in his mandatory, you know damn well what would happen. We will drop this belt because we have another one if that sanctioning body acts like they want us to fight him. We'll drop the belt. Floyd Patterson wasn't even forced to take the fight. He's the one that said he was going to do the fight because the guy was the #1 contender. He deserved it. But what belt was there for him to drop? They couldn't drop it because it's the only one. But now, we'll just drop the belt. But I'm still a champion. I dropped the belt, but I'm still a champion. Oh, Gennady Golovkin. Oh, I got stripped of my belt, but I'm still a champion. That's the biggest problem with boxing right now is all these sanctioning bodies, man. That's the biggest problem, dog. Oh, said Chuck Webner stepped on Ali's foot, fake neck down. Yeah, and then he got blasted out. I mean, come on, man. You know, there ain't never any need. There's never need to oh, Aunt Riley, when you're kind of running into a question I have, when will Joshua run out of time before he has to fight a killer? When the UK fans demand that he fights him. That's when. If he doesn't, if as soon as Sky Sports ratings dip and he has a heart and he doesn't sell out a fight twice, that's when he'll be forced to do it. But even then, he's probably not going to be forced to do it. You know, because he can make money without doing it. If he loses, if somebody loses, another way that he could be forced to do it is if he loses. And then a real killer gets the belts. Then he'll have to do it, right? Because then he'll have to get the belt back from one of those dudes. That's the reason why I'm saying if you get rid of all these sanctioning bodies, you get rid of a lot of these problems. If that's all this weight change in weight, how are we going to solve? We most likely solve the problem by getting rid of sanctioning bodies, getting rid of 3 of them, And the only way that would happen is I could see is if, like, for some reason, some legislation was passed in the U.S. that said, look, we're only going to have one boxing sanctioning body, period. That's it. Nobody else. No, we're not going to sanction any fights by any state, any that is not sanctioned by whatever that council was established by the Ali Act. I think it's like some boxing commission council, but I think the boxing commission council is related to the state commissions. But as far as those sanctioning bodies, unless they did that, if they did that in the United States, then that would solve 90% of it, because they got to come here to fight, regardless of what people in the UK say. If you have to fight, if you cannot win a belt in the United States, those other bodies are going to go away because they can't earn their living over there in the UK. Every one of them get the bulk of their championship fights from the United States, the bulk of their money from the United States. That's why we got 16 world champions. We got 16 world champions in the US, 16 world champions in the US, and how many? And every time they all fight here, and a whole bunch of guys who are world champions who aren't all fight here too, right? So that, anyway, that's my thought on it, man. Eric Jenkins said, yes, sir, that shit today would not go in that area of boxing. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. But you got to get rid of those. Just got to get rid of those things. Ali damn near killed him, and he's making a movie about it. Oh, what is this? Somebody talking about Ali getting knocked down by who is this clown? Who are you, dude? What kind of dog? You mess me this another troll that comes by here. Wasn't Ortiz 39? He was 38. Get out of here, man. Just get out of here, man. Anyway, Aunt Riley said, I can't see that. Hopefully the zone doesn't have to get involved, although they already fired White Chisora warning shot. What do you mean on that? What's good, Mr. Finesse? I'm chilling, man. I'm only going to be on here for a couple more minutes, man. I just wanted to complete my live stream. Foreman would have destroyed AJ and his horrible head movement. Yeah, the dude that would have really beat the tar out of I think Ali would have beat the tar out of Joshua. That shit is the shit that would have been just crazy. And they got to go 15 rounds. So if you do the 15 rounds, that adds something else to it. Because then you're talking about cats that really got to get in shape and can't carry all that muscle. You know what I mean? They're toting around a lot of muscle that they couldn't have carried around in the 60s. Because it's like a 6'7" guy, 6'9" guys with three more rounds. I don't know how that would have gone for them dudes with that height. We speak in facts. He resorts to an insult. In my presence that would get you punched in the face. And man, this is some clown that always comes here. He's been blocked a bunch of times. I just want to know what fanboys think. Dog, what is a fanboy, man? Fanboys are by the way, fanboys are casual fans. Okay? Fanboys are they're casual fans, okay? That's the only thing that they're interested in is that particular fighter. That's who I would call a fanboy. That's all you like AJ. Or you like Deontay Wilder. That's the only fighter you like. That's a fanboy. I think whenever you use the words, you should have a functional definition for it. Because words have power, right? When I hear somebody say that I'm a fanboy of boxing. If that's what you mean, yeah, I'm a fan of boxing. But if you're saying somebody's a fanboy, like they're only a fan, it would be the person that only likes that particular fighter. How many boxers can I be fanboys of? Every fighter that I like in boxing, every fight that I watch in boxing, I watch boxing as much as I possibly can. But if you think that, cool, you think that. Don't make me no, never mind. All these dudes in the UK all talk the same. I can't tell them apart. I'm starting to be able to tell a little bit about them. But these cats that come over here are also, hey man, let's not skip. Let me check my time. What time is it? All right, it's gonna be about 5 more minutes. Ray Mercer beats the brakes off Joshua. That'd be a good fight. I think he has a good chance against. I think Joshua has a good chance against Ray Mercer. I think the number one guy that will crush him though is Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes, Ernie Shavers. It's night with Ernie Shavers. Vitaly Klitschko, that's a wrap, dog. Vitaly gets him. I think Razor Ruddock would be a good fight. I think Donovan Razor Ruddock would be a good fight. And I'm talking about in fair fights, ones where you can't like stop the fight by ripping off your hand glove and taking a timeout when you get buzzed. You know what I mean? Or young Mike Tyson just runs through him. Holyfield, that would be a fight that Anthony Joshua would not like. Holyfield. But Pinklin Thomas, not Butterbean, dog. He beat Butterbean, man. Wilder versus Mike would be legendary, man. You said, do you know that what's his name said he's more dangerous than Mike Tyson? Dangerous. He didn't say he's a better fighter. For people that are, some of you dummies need to like carry a dictionary with you. Very many who really don't have much subtlety in their use of language, right? So somebody says they're willing to does not mean that they want to, right? You're willing to and want to, that's not the same thing. Matter of fact, they're on the opposite sides of desire. I'm willing to. Willing to is closer to I don't want to than it is I want to. Okay? If I want to is here and I'm willing to is here. What's it? Is it? I want to, I'm willing to, don't want to. Yeah. If don't want to is here, I'm willing to is somewhere closer to don't. Okay? It's somewhere closer to I don't. It's like I'm willing to. But cats you miss the subtlety of language. And because I did a video on it. Oh, what are you told? You're hanging on words? What else am I supposed to hang on to? What else am I supposed to, how else am I supposed to understand what you mean? Other than to listen to the words that you use. You want me to assume some shit. And bro, I ain't assuming a damn thing. But anyway, I got to get out of here. Fannon, great, my boy, giving them facts. Yeah, man, these dudes be bugging. But look, man, World Breaker fight is going to go on in about 2 minutes, I do believe. It is 12:49. Go check my man out. And with that, I'm out. Peace.